Terrier. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about breed-specific characteristics in dogs. I have been reading loads and loads of posts about breed-specific characteristics in dogs recently, and I've been involved in a few discussions online, and absolutely it is fascinating. And you, for sure, if you buy a Labrador puppy or adopt a Labrador from a rescue centre, or even a dog with a fair amount of Labrador in them, then expect your dog to want to carry things around. It's kind of what they were bred to do, so expect that characteristic. Same thing if you adopted a Border Collie. It might become a little bit annoying chasing things or herding up people in the park. Those are the sorts of behaviour problems you would maybe expect. Maybe even nipping at the heels of children to keep them all in a nice clump. However, what always concerns me about breed-specific characteristics are the ones that are linked to aggression. So, resource guarding in Cocker Spaniels, or what always happens with Staffies and pretty much any of the bull breed mixes is immediately people start to say those dogs should be banned. They are dangerous, they were bred to kill things. I have heard it said about greyhounds as well. Those dogs should be banned, they are bred to kill things, they pose a danger to cats and small dogs. With bully breeds, it's more likely to be they pose a danger to the general public. And this is where, for me, the negative side of breed-specific characteristics comes in, partly because actually there are lots of greyhounds that are fine with cats and small dogs. Similarly, I know a great many people who have shared their lives with a great many Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and I don't know a single person who's been killed by any bull breed dog. I know that there have been people killed by dogs in the UK. I don't personally know any of them, and I've got to feel as though if the danger was as large as sometimes people fear it is, that I would know people who had been killed by a Staffordshire Bull Terrier or a cross of some description, or an English Bull Terrier, or any of the other bully type breeds that we have in the UK. And I don't know anybody. In fact, the ones I know have always been very, very nice dogs that have lived to be an old age without ever attacking anybody. Now, this is not just a personal thing. What actually also concerns me is that sometimes dogs behave very badly because they are unwell. Pain and illness is a common cause of behaviour issues in dogs, and as dogs as well are living longer and longer and developing a dog form of dementia, so are developing cognitive disorders in old age, some of those go hand in hand with behaviour issues, including aggression. Now, that happened to my dad. My dad, for anybody who doesn't know me very well, my lovely dad had dementia in the last few years of his life. Now, my dad was the sort of person that everybody loves. He was friendly and fun to be around. We as a family have got so many friends because him and my mum were so sociable. People who met my dad loved him. You know, my dad retired over 20 years ago now. He retired before I'd left university. And Mum still sometimes sees my dad's old work colleagues. He was so well thought of. My sister and I recently attended a funeral of one of Dad's oldest friends, and whenever we met new people and they said, "Oh, how do you know Pat?" and we said we are John McLennan's daughters, people were, "Oh, I knew your dad," and they all had a story to tell about him. We were like celebrities. My dad changed completely when, due to the dementia, he always knew who we were, but he became quite violent at times, very fearful of people, which was never something that my dad was, but he became worried about being attacked. He completely and utterly changed, and that sometimes can happen to dogs as well. So, to bring it back to breed-specific characteristics, if somebody takes their Cocker Spaniel, say, to the vet and says, this dog bites us every time we try to move him off the couch, he has bitten us now quite badly, we can pretty much guarantee that if we try to move him, somebody will be bitten. And the vet, having done their research and having a bit of dog behaviour knowledge, may well say, well, of course, it's a Cocker Spaniel, he will be guarding the couch. And there's a really strong genetic component to that, which can't be fixed because it's genetically encoded in your dog to do that. And perhaps no further investigation is done. And of course, what maybe is going on is that this particular Cocker Spaniel has a sore back. And the reason that he bites when people go to move him off the couch is because the first few times it happened, it really hurt. And people would persist in moving him off the couch even though he didn't want to move because he knew it was going to hurt. And then he started biting. So you may well have a dog with an undiagnosed condition that nobody's even looking for because he's a Cocker Spaniel. And this did happen, a similar sort of thing did happen to me. One of my bull mastiffs, Katie, had inflammatory bowel disease. And when I took her to the vet, one of the symptoms of the condition worsening was that she would start to attack the dogs she lived with, which was a horrible thing to live through. When I took her to the vet and said, there's definitely something wrong with Katie, can you find out what it is? The vet said to me, there won't be anything wrong with her. It's her breed. Do you want me to refer her to a behaviourist? She seems very healthy to me and I don't think there's anything wrong with her, but everybody knows that these big bully breed dogs are prone to aggression and that's what it will be. I can refer you to a behaviourist. And I said, well, I think there's something wrong with her. Can you please do some blood tests at least? Let's start to find out before we worry about seeing a behaviourist. And that was the start of quite a long journey to get Katie diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease. So this sort of thing is quite prevalent and quite often is based on breed-specific characteristics, which is why I don't always feel all that thrilled to read about research backing it up. It's good to know about breed-specific characteristics, absolutely useful things to bear in mind, but be really, really cautious if dealing with some of the more unwanted sides to what are thought of as breed-specific characteristics, and just exercise some caution. So even if it's a breed of dog that is displaying aggressive behaviour that may well be to do with the breed, still investigate health concerns and still investigate behaviour modification options. Sometimes the dogs can be helped, sometimes they are not condemned to being monsters by their genetics. So I just wanted to say it's something that I would personally be quite cautious about. For all that I absolutely do encourage everybody to really strongly research the breed of dog they're thinking about getting and make sure that you're aware of it, what they were bred to do, because that is extremely, extremely useful information. And certainly if I was going to go and get a cockapoo, I would want to know that things like going in water and not coming out might be a thing. Poodles are a water retrieving breed. And also that they may well be super lively, really bright little dogs that need to be doing a lot, because some of them are bred from working strain Cocker Spaniels who exactly need to be doing things and are extremely, extremely lively. So of course you want to know about the breed-specific characteristics to help you make sure that you're getting a dog that's a good fit for your family. But it does not mean that they will exhibit all of those characteristics, and it also doesn't mean that particularly aggressive behaviour is necessarily down to their genetics. Aggressive behaviour in dogs, particularly directed at family members, is not normal behaviour, and generally speaking isn't selected for, because people live in houses with dogs and nobody really wants to live with a dog that's a risk to them. So that sort of thing is extremely unusual, no matter what the breed of the dog is or what they were bred to do. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.